Hey everybody, I'm Yvonne Williams with Back to Earth Creations, and in this video I would like to show y'all how to make just a fast, simple chainmail weave that is perfect for beginners. If this is your first project, all you need to know is how to open and close jump rings. It is probably the most simple and most straightforward of all the chainmail weaves. So let's get started. So to do this project, I have my favorite chainmail pliers, a pair of bent nose with a customized handle, and a pair of flat nose pliers. I'm going to be using a size 6 seed bead blend. This blend is really irregular about size. So like you can see I have a little pile here of ones that are made. These are all the beads that would not fit onto my rings. So I actually keep them off in a separate tin. Or lid rather, because they can be used in other projects, but they just aren't going to work for this one. So I'm going to dump some of these beads out into the lid here. And I'm using two different ring sizes today. I'm threading the beads onto a 19 gauge 5/32 ring. And then I'm going to be doing the bulk of the like structural weaving with the 18 gauge 3/16. There'll be links down below the video to, of all the different tools and materials and of where you can buy them for yourself. And now you can see here, I'm going to open the ring by just open it up like that. You want to open it this way, like that, as opposed to like that, because once you bring the ends back together, if you open it up this way, like if my hand's the ring, if you open it up that way, you're gonna have a really hard time getting it to be a perfect circle again, and it's gonna have a structural point of weakness right here. And also, it's just way easier to do it like this. I mean, it really is. So practice and you'll get the hang of it. Excuse me, sorry, I'm still getting over being sick, so I've got the sniffles. And I'm just going to pick up a bead and thread it on, like so. Oops. And sometimes they jump off. And if you can't find it, you'll probably find it later. So if not, now we get to put on another bead. Fortunately, it fits. But yeah, and then we will just close. Slipping pliers. That's what I get for looking through the camera instead of watching what I'm doing. But yeah, whenever I close the ring, I want to make sure that there's no opening, that it's not going to catch my skin. You can see there's a little bit of a burr hanging down right there. So I'm just going to bring it together a little bit better. The more meticulous and careful you are about your closures, the better habits you're building as a chainmailer or jewelry artisan, or a costumer. The better habits you're going to be building in the quality of your work. And so to assemble the bracelet, we're going to take one of our larger rings, the 18 gauge 3/16, and I'm going to thread 1 and 2 little beads up onto there, and then I'm going to close it. And you could do this for earrings, you could do this for a necklace or bracelet or just whatever you like. I use this design pretty frequently whenever I'm doing like belly dance belts, because you don't have to just do these little size 6 seed beads on here. You could put any kind of charms or coins or whatever you want. And you can see what I did there was whenever I'm threading it on, whenever I'm putting the rings on, I put them both on one side and then close it, and then I just move one over, and then I hook another ring through just like that. And you can double up on these rings if you like, which I think I might actually do that because I want this to be a really nice charm bracelet. So you can see I closed it. So to double up on this ring, what I would do is I would just thread it through those same rings, just like that. Excuse me. 'Tis the season to have allergies. Yay. And so you can see 2 rings just looks quite a bit more substantial than just one. And so you can do that just as much as you like. threading through. And it's a lot easier to do it when you're on the ring that you're weaving, as opposed to doing like I'm doing and going back through. So I'm just going to keep moving forward then with our rings. So you can see, taking the open one and hooking through. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit more for you guys as we keep going. You can see, and then hooking 1 and 2 of our little decorative dangles and then closing it. So we've hooked on that first ring, and now I'm going to go through and do the reinforcement ring through the same rings we just hooked through. And then I'm going to flip that over to the other side. And I'm going to continue doing this to whatever length that I like. But you can definitely start to see now how it gets, a little bit of that pattern going. But I'm going to do a full bracelet of this, and then I will meet you all right back here, and we'll talk a little bit more about finishing the ends of the design, as well as different options that we can do with it. So this is how our bracelet has come out. You can see down here in this section, I have 2 rings for each loop for the core section, weaving it together, and then farther down here I just have 1 ring, and I feel like that gives us much more movement and a fun little more chaotic look, whereas down here it looks a little bit more structured, a little more solid. So I just wanted to show you the contrast in that design. It's subtle, but it's there. And if we're doing this down here, I would actually probably go more with a 16 gauge core wire as opposed to the 18 gauge smaller rings, but it still should hold up pretty well. I just think it makes such a pretty nice little dangly, like that movement that it does. Just, I love that. Now something that we could do is we could take the end of it here, find our core, and attach it to either side of a focal point. Here I have a hand painted dragon eye. And have it like come off each side like a necklace, or do it in the center and have it be like a watch style bracelet or something. But what we're gonna do is I just have this little container of lobster claw clasps. They're my favorite to use because they're very secure, because you can just pull that little lever, then throw it on the floor. I will find that one later. But yeah, you can just pull the little lever and it will hook onto the little loop. So I'm just going to take one of our open 18 gauge rings, put it through the little loop of our lobster claw clasp, and then I'm going to hook it through the core wire, or I don't know why I call it the core, but it's the one that all the little dangly decorative bits are attached to. So that center ring there, and then close it. And then to the other end, I am actually going to do a couple, one open with one closed on each of them. You could use mechanized chain if you were doing this as a necklace, just whatever you like, but I just like using the same rings that we wove with. And you can see here I've got one closed on one open, and I'm going to hook that open through the 2 center rings, close it, find the one that was dangling off the end. Let me zoom in just a little bit for you. Oops. Grab the correct one. So here's another one open with one closed, and I'm just going to hook it on, and then this makes a fast, simple 1-1 chain. And then we would take it and drape it around our wrist, and I'm going to open up the lobster claw clasp, and then it just hooks right on there. And so you can see that's how it closes, and that's how it sits. Just a nice, fun, simple little bracelet, or necklace, or earrings, or whatever you decide to make. Hey y'all, thanks so much for hanging out with me for this tutorial. I hope that it was enjoyable to you and helpful. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. And then also, If you would like to share, sorry, my mind blanked for a minute there. If you would like to share pictures of what you've made on my social media or tag me on Instagram, there'll be links to all that down in the like video description box down below what you're watching right now. Also, if you enjoy my free tutorials and would like to participate in my fairy house giveaways and support the creation of more tutorials, and what else do we, monthly craft crates, all the different stuff that we do here at Back to Earth Creation. Sorry, it is so late and I'm so tired at the time of recording. But yeah, please check me out on Patreon. Pledges start at just $1, and you can actually follow me on Patreon without pledging anything and still see some of the exclusive behind the scenes access pictures that I post. I feel like I'm just saying lots of words. But yeah, it's you can see some of the behind the scenes stuff without even being a pledger. Now I do post some things that are exclusive to people who are pledgers on there as well, but I just wanted to let you guys know that we've got a little bit of everything over there for you. So we also do digital downloadable content and more rambling if you want. But yeah, I really like this style of bracelet because you can take this one weave, and I got this for $1 on clearance at Joann's, and you can see it used maybe this much of the tube to do a bracelet, so you can get a couple of different bracelets out of here, as well as with this one weave you could do it in a bunch of different color schemes. You could make some of your own little dangly cute beads. You could incorporate some charms. You could have you can use any ring size for attaching the beads to the bracelet base, just so long as it's not going to be structurally weak, and so long as it can fit through the hole in the bead. And you can use all sorts of different sizes of beads as well. So your creativity and access to materials truly is the only limit for this design here. Like, you could use a couple of different ring sizes and bead sizes and stuff and give it like a really like quirky fun design looking thing. So I'll leave that for y'all to do what you're gonna do with, and I'd love to see pictures and stuff too, because y'all are some of the most creative people I've ever met, so I really want to see what you guys do with this. But yeah, happy crafting, and I'll see y'all around. Bye and good night. I'm going to bed.